Born in France, Terese Martin was such a weak, sickly child, she actually had to be taken away from her mother for over a year. The fragile baby of the family, but academically bright, Terese grappled with physical and emotional problems for years. Just before Terese started school, her mother died from breast cancer. Bright, but understandably clingy and tearful, the kids at school ridiculed and bullied her. When her sister Celine left home, Terese was so depressed she actually took to bed for days at a time. Things were looking pretty bleak. But on her 13th Christmas, a miracle of faith happened. God gave that grieving girl a beautiful gift. The sadness so deep within her melted away in His presence and God's assurance that He would never abandon her. In receiving Christ's love for her, Terese was able to pass the gift of His love on to other people. Convinced of the Lord's call on her life, Terese Martin asked the Carmelite prayer community to let her work and pray with them. Their reply? "You're too young to serve God so totally. You just don't understand what it is you're asking." 1 Timothy says that we're not to let anyone think less of us because of our age. We need to be an example to all in what we say and how we live, in love, faith, and purity. Well, God did work things out for Terese's ministry. She became the youngest ever received into the Carmelite community at 15. Her relationship with Jesus blossomed as well. Terese kept a daily journal of the things that God was teaching her in her prayer time. She wrote, "Our Lord doesn't look so much at how great our actions are, but rather how great His love is in our actions." Because her mission in life was to scatter little flowers or show God her devotion and love, even in the simple, less attractive chores, Terese became known as the Little Flower, Terese of Lisieux. Terese presented an armload of flowers to Jesus in person when she slipped into the great cloud of witnesses at 24. Her journals were published as The Story of a Soul. The book became a bestseller, impacting other souls worldwide. 30 years later, Agnes Bojaxa selected a new name in dedicating her life to God. Agnes chose the little flower, Terese. And today, we know Agnes better as Mother Teresa of Calcutta. Each of us, young and old, sick or healthy, has a choice to pick the beautiful flowers of God's love and then present them back to Him, one day, one flower at a time. So let's lay aside anything that might keep us from fixing our eyes on Jesus, the planter and tender gardener of our lives.